Story 1. The Elephant's First Flight. In the lush jungle where ancient trees whispered secrets, a young elephant named Ellie discovered a pair of shimmering wings. They sparkled like stars fallen from the night sky. Hidden in a forgotten cave glowing with mystery, Ellie strapped the wings to her broad back with vines, feeling a tingle of magic course through her trunk. As she flapped tentatively, the ground began to fade below, lifting her into the air like a dream come true. Higher she soared, past colorful birds in flight, dodging fluffy clouds that tickled her ears gently. The wind sang songs of adventure in her ears, promising wonders beyond the horizon's edge. But shadows lurked in the distant stormy skies, whispering warnings of dangers yet unseen ahead. Ellie pressed on with courage in her heart, eager to explore the unknown realms above. Finally, she landed on a floating island paradise, where flowers bloomed in eternal vibrant colors. Friends awaited her there with open arms, marking the start of endless whimsical journeys. #### Story 2. Wings over the Whispering Forest. Deep in the whispering forest where leaves told tales, Ellie spread her wings under the moon's soft glow. The night air was cool and filled with enchantment, carrying scents of wild berries and hidden streams. She glided silently over treetops, swaying gently, spotting glowing eyes of nocturnal creatures below. A wise owl hooted guidance from an ancient branch, leading her toward a secret glade of wonders. In the heart of the forest, a magical fountain sparkled, granting wishes to those brave enough to drink. Ellie sipped cautiously, feeling power surge within, her wings growing stronger with each passing moment. Yet, dark vines crept up from the underbrush shadows, trying to ensnare her in their thorny grasp. With a mighty flap, she broke free and ascended, leaving the peril behind in the misty depths. At dawn, she returned home with stories to share, inspiring other animals to dream of the skies. The forest echoed with cheers and applause, as Ellie prepared for her next grand adventure. ### Story 3. The Cloud Castle Quest. High above the world in a castle of clouds, Ellie heard legends of treasures hidden within. Her wings carried her through swirling mists, where rainbows arched like bridges to fantasy lands. She navigated thunderous storms with steady resolve, dodging lightning bolts that danced like fireflies. Friendly cloud spirits guided her winding path, whispering clues to unlock the castle's gates. Inside, rooms of cotton-soft wonders awaited her, filled with floating jewels and singing harps. A mischievous wind sprite challenged her to games, testing her wit and agility in the airy halls. But a shadowy storm king loomed in the distance, threatening to shatter the peaceful cloud realm. Ellie rallied allies with her trumpet-like call, uniting forces to banish the darkness away. Victorious, she claimed a crown of fluffy clouds, soaring home with tales of bravery and fun. The young explorers below looked up in awe, dreaming of their own flights into the unknown. ### Story 4. River of Stars Expedition. Along the river of stars that flowed through the night, Ellie paddled her wings like oars in the sky. Constellations twinkled as guides on her journey, leading to realms where dreams and reality met. She encountered shooting stars racing beside her, sharing stories of wishes granted across time. A comet friend joined her for the thrilling ride, zooming through space with laughter echoing loud. Deep in the cosmic river, a black hole swirled, pulling unwary travelers into endless void. Ellie used her trunk to anchor and pull free, saving her companion from the dark abyss. They discovered a planet of glowing crystal caves, where echoes of ancient songs filled the air. Treasures of light were collected with care, illuminating paths for future explorers bold. Back on Earth, Ellie shared her stellar adventures, inspiring stargazers to reach for the heavens. The night sky seemed closer and full of promise, thanks to the flying pachyderm's daring tales. Hashtag Story 5. Enchanted Mountain Ascent. On the enchanted mountain where magic peaks rose, Ellie climbed with wings aiding her every step. Snow-capped summits gleamed under the sun's rays, harboring secrets in their icy, hidden crevices. She met mountain goats with horns of pure gold, who taught her to balance on narrow ledge paths. Winds howled like wolves in the crisp, thin air, carrying echoes of legends from ages past. At the summit, a fountain of youth bubbled forth, promising eternal wonder for those who sipped. Ellie drank deeply, feeling youth renew her spirit, her wings shimmering brighter than ever before. Dark avalanches rumbled from jealous shadows below, threatening to bury the magic in frozen despair. With a powerful stomp, she triggered a safe slide, redirecting danger away from her newfound friends. Descending with gifts of mountain wisdom in tow, Ellie inspired villages to seek their own heights. The world below buzzed with excitement and plans, as the whimsical wings continued to soar. Hashtag Story 6. Underwater Skydive. Beneath the ocean where skies met the deep blue, Ellie dove with wings adapted for aquatic flight. Bubbles trailed like stars in her underwater path, exploring coral kingdoms alive with vibrant life. She swam alongside dolphins flipping with joy, learning secrets of the sea's hidden currents. Sunlight pierced the waves like golden arrows, illuminating treasures lost in sandy depths. A giant squid guarded an ancient sunken ship, challenging intruders with inky black clouds. Ellie trumpeted a song to calm the beast's rage, turning foe into friend with harmonious notes. Inside the wreck, chests of pearls and gold gleamed, stories etched on walls of voyages long gone. She collected artifacts with gentle trunk grasp, preserving history for surface world tales. Emerging from the depths with wonders to share, Ellie bridged the gap between sky and sea. Young explorers marveled at her dual realms, dreaming of adventures in both air and water. Hashtag Story 7. Desert Mirage. In the vast desert where sands whispered illusions, Ellie flew over dunes that shifted like waves. Mirages danced like ghosts in the scorching heat, promising oases that vanished upon approach. She spotted a caravan of camels laden with spices, sharing water and stories under starry nights. The moon cast silver light on hidden pyramids, guarding pharaohs' secrets in their stony hearts. Deep in a tomb, traps sprung with cunning design, testing her strength and clever pachyderm mind. Ellie solved riddles etched in ancient stone, unlocking chambers filled with golden artifacts. Shadowy spirits rose to claim their lost domain, swirling sands in a vortex of eerie winds. With winged flaps, she dispersed the haunting storm, restoring peace to the desert's timeless sands. Returning with tales of mirages turned real, Ellie quenched thirsts for adventure in hearts. The desert bloomed with inspired young dreamers, ready to chase their own whimsical horizons. Hashtag Story 8. Volcanic Wing Warmth. Near the volcano where lava rivers glowed red, Ellie approached with wings fanned against heat. Ash clouds billowed like smoke from dragon's breath, hiding fiery wonders in their smoldering veil. She met fire sprites dancing on molten rocks, who taught her to glide through thermal updrafts. Caves of crystal formed from cooled lava flows, sparkling with inner fire and hidden gems. A rumble warned of an impending eruption, threatening to engulf the land in fiery rain. Ellie used her trunk to divert the lava path, saving villages nestled in the valley below. In gratitude, the sprites gifted her flame-proof feathers, allowing safer flights through hazardous zones. She explored deeper into the volcano's core, discovering heartstones pulsing with Earth's power. Soaring home with volcanic tales of bravery, Ellie ignited passions in young explorers' souls. The world warmed to stories of fire and flight. As the pachyderm's legend continued to grow, Story 9. Polar Ice Wing Glide. In the polar realms where icebergs floated serene, Ellie glided over frozen tundras with grace. Auroras painted the sky in colorful waves, dancing like spirits in the endless night. She befriended penguins sliding on icy slopes, learning to navigate blizzards with keen sight. Hidden igloos sheltered ancient polar lore, whispered by elders around flickering fires. A cracking glacier threatened to swallow the land, releasing beasts from icy slumbers deep. Ellie rallied seals and bears to reinforce barriers, holding back the chaos with united strength. Discovering a crystal palace beneath the ice, filled with frozen treasures and glowing lights, she claimed a shard that granted cold resistance, enhancing her wings for Arctic adventures bold. Returning south with polar wonders in tow, Ellie melted hearts with tales of frozen beauty. Young explorers bundled up for their own quests, inspired by the flying pachyderm's chill journeys. Story 10. Jungle Canopy Capers. High in the jungle canopy where vines intertwined, Ellie swung from branches with winged assistance. Monkeys chattered secrets of hidden fruit groves, leading her to feasts of exotic delights. She discovered a lost temple overgrown with moss, guarding relics from civilizations long past. Puzzles of stone challenged her pachyderm wits, unlocking doors to chambers of golden idols. Poisonous snakes slithered in shadowy corners, hissing threats to intruders bold and brave. Ellie blew gusts with her trunk to scatter them, clearing paths for safe exploration ahead. At the temple's heart, a fountain of life flowed, healing wounds and renewing weary spirits. She sipped and felt energy surge through her veins, preparing for more capers in the green maze. Descending with artifacts and stories galore, Ellie swung into legends among jungle kin. The canopy echoed with cheers for her deeds, as young explorers climbed to follow her lead. Story 11. Mystic Meadow Mysteries. In the mystic meadows where flowers sang softly, Ellie landed gently on dew-kissed grass blades. Fairies fluttered around with wings of light, sharing spells of growth and blooming wonders. She followed a trail of glowing mushroom rings, leading to portals of alternate dreamy worlds. Enchanted creatures gathered for midnight feasts, dancing under stars in harmonious joy. A wicked thorn bush spread blight across lands, withering beauty in its prickly advance. Ellie uprooted it with her mighty trunk pull, restoring vibrancy to the meadow's heart. Discovering a well of wishes deep and true, granting dreams to those with pure intentions. She wished for endless adventures to come, feeling magic weave into her whimsical wings. Flying off with fairy friends in tow now, Ellie spread meadow magic to distant realms. Young explorers sought their own mystic spots, inspired by tales of enchantment and flight. Story 12. Canyon Echo Adventures. Through the Grand Canyon where echoes resounded, Ellie soared between walls of layered stone. Ancient carvings told stories of time's passage, etched by winds and rivers over eons. She met eagles nesting on precarious ledges, learning to ride thermals with expert grace. Hidden caves revealed fossils of bygone eras, sparking curiosity in her explorer's soul. A flash flood roared through the narrow paths, threatening to sweep away all in its rage. Ellie blocked debris with her sturdy frame, diverting waters to safer, calmer flows. At the canyon's base, a river of gold shimmered, yielding nuggets of fortune for the bold. She collected samples with careful trunk scoops, treasures to share with friends back home. Echoing triumphs as she ascended once more, Ellie inspired canyon quests in young hearts. The echoes carried her legend far and wide, as whimsical wings conquered rugged terrains. Story 13. Bamboo Forest Whispers. In the bamboo forest where stalks swayed like reeds, Ellie navigated mazes of green towering high. Pandas lounged lazily munching on leaves, sharing wisdom of balance and peaceful ways. She uncovered a shrine of ancient bamboo scrolls, detailing maps to forgotten eastern lands. Mystical winds whispered directions soft, guiding her through the rustling, endless groves. Shadowy ninjas lurked in the dense undergrowth, testing her skills with swift, silent strikes. Ellie countered with flaps, creating gusts strong, disarming foes and turning them to allies. At the forest's core, a tree of enlightenment bloomed, offering fruits that granted inner peace. She partook and felt harmony fill her being, enhancing her flights with serene confidence. Emerging with scrolls and stories anew, Ellie spread bamboo whispers to the world. Young explorers sought their own forest paths, drawn by the Pachyderm's tranquil adventures. ### Story 14. Savannah sunset soars. Across the savannah where sunsets painted gold, Ellie flew low over herds thundering below. Lions roared greetings from Pride Rock thrones, inviting her to join their evening hunts. She spotted watering holes teeming with life, where animals gathered in truce under stars. Ancient baobab trees shared tales of survival, rooted deep in the earth's resilient soil. A poacher's trap snapped in the twilight shadows, endangering friends in its cruel metal jaws. Ellie smashed it with a powerful stomp, freeing captives and chasing threats away. Discovering an oasis of eternal blooming flowers, hidden amid the dry, expansive plains, she gathered petals that healed weary souls, gifts for those in need of savannah magic. As dawn broke, she soared with renewed vigor, sharing sunset stories with eager listeners. The savannah buzzed with inspired young roamers, following the flying elephant's golden trails. ### Story 15. Rainforest Rainbow Rides. In the rainforest where rains nourished life abundant, Ellie glided under canopies dripping with dew. Parrots squawked colors from branches above, painting the air with their vibrant feathers. She followed rivers winding through lush greens, discovering waterfalls cascading like veils. Tribes of monkeys swung in playful troops, teaching her tricks of vine-swinging fun. A landslide rumbled from stormy mountain sides, burying paths in mud and fallen trees. Ellie cleared debris with her trunk's mighty lift, restoring flow to the forest's vital veins. At a sacred grove, rainbows ended in pots of light, granting visions of future adventures bright. She beheld wonders yet to unfold in time, fueling her whimsy with prophetic sights. Departing with rainbow hues on her wings, Ellie inspired rainforest quests in hearts. Young explorers donned gear for wet wilds, chasing the pachyderm's colorful escapades. Story 16. Highland Heath Hops. On the highland heaths where mists rolled like seas, Ellie hopped across moors with winged bounces. Sheep grazed peacefully on emerald hills, sharing lore of clans and ancient stone circles. She explored castles ruined by time's gentle hand, echoing with ghosts of knights and queens past. Bagpipes wailed melodies in the foggy air, inviting dances under overcast skies. A bog monster stirred from peaty depths below, sucking unwary feet into its murky grasp. Ellie pulled free with flaps, creating whirlwinds, banishing the beast back to its slimy lair. Discovering a loch with waters crystal clear, home to legends of creatures swimming deep. She dove in briefly, glimpsing mythical forms, collecting scales that shimmered with magic. Soaring off with highland tales woven tight, Ellie wove wonder into distant lands. The heaths called to young hoppers anew, drawn by the elephant's misty adventures. ### Story 17. Tundra Twilight Treks. In the tundra twilight where snow never melted, Ellie trekked with wings shielding from cold winds. Reindeer herds migrated under northern lights, guiding her to auroral spectacles divine. She found ice caves glowing with inner blue hues, harboring fossils of mammoths from icy ages. Polar bears shared fishing spots on frozen shores, teaching survival in the harsh white expanse. An avalanche thundered from glacial heights, burying trails in blankets of powdery snow. Ellie dug tunnels with her trunk's precise probes, rescuing trapped friends from the frozen grip. At the pole's center, a compass of stars spun, pointing to destinies written in celestial maps. She aligned her path with cosmic directions, ensuring safe returns from twilight realms. Returning with tundra treasures frozen fresh, Ellie thawed imaginations in warmer climes. Young trekkers bundled for their own cold quests, inspired by the pachyderm's luminous journeys. #### Story 18. Orchard Owl Outings. Amid the orchard where fruits ripened sweet, Ellie outings with owls under harvest moons. Apples dangled like jewels from leafy boughs, inviting picks with her extending trunk. She met farmers tending rows with care, sharing recipes of pies and ciders warm. Bees buzzed symphonies in blooming flowers, pollinating promises of bountiful yields. A blight crept silently through the leafy veins, withering branches in its insidious spread. Ellie sprayed remedies from her trunk's spray, healing the orchard with natural cures found. Discovering a tree of knowledge bearing fruit wise, granting insights to questions long pondered. She munched thoughtfully, gaining wisdom deep, enhancing her explorations with clever thoughts. Flying home with baskets of orchard delights, Ellie feasted friends with stories and sweets. The groves inspired young pickers to venture, following the elephant's fruitful paths. ### Story 19. Lagoon Luminary Larks. By the lagoon where waters lapped luminous shores, Ellie larked with fireflies in the balmy night. Mangroves rooted deep in salty embraces, harboring crabs that scuttled in rhythmic dances. She sailed on leaves across the glassy expanse, discovering islands of shells and pearl beds. Tropical birds sang choruses from palms high, welcoming her to their paradise hideaways. A tidal wave swelled from oceanic depths, threatening to flood the serene lagoon homes. Ellie built barriers with trunk-piled sands, holding back the surge with steadfast resolve. In the lagoon's heart, a fountain of youth glowed, renewing vigor in those who bathed its light. She splashed joyfully, feeling energy renew, preparing for larks in endless luminous nights. Departing with shells echoing sea songs, Ellie lit up tales for distant audiences. Young larkers sought their own glowing waters, chased by the pachyderm's radiant adventures. ### Story 20. Summit Starlight Stories. At the world's summit where stars touched the earth, Ellie climbed with wings propelling her up. Goats leaped nimbly on rocky crags steep, sharing paths to peaks of breathtaking views. She gazed upon valleys from dizzying heights, where rivers snaked like silver threads below. Eagles circled in thermals with majestic ease, inviting her to join their aerial ballets. A storm brewed fierce with lightning's crack, shaking the mountain in thunderous roars. Ellie sheltered friends in her broad-winged tent, waiting out the rage till calm returned. On the peak, a telescope of stars revealed, showing galaxies swirling in infinite space. She peered through, dreaming of cosmic flights, collecting starlight in her whimsical heart. Descending with summit stories etched deep, Ellie sparked starlight in young explorers' eyes. The world climbed higher inspired by her, as the flying pachyderm's legend soared on.